Good morning and Happy New Year. Here is Creamer's Corner with the daily technical updates. It is the first edition in the new year. Hope you all enjoyed your Christmas holidays. And what a new year it was, I will say, or Christmas holidays trading it was in the US market that actually moved higher, cancelling this potential top and reversal candle here. So we actually moved higher, closed higher, and we ended the last trading day of the year with a little bit of a negative note. What we can see is also that we had RSI showing divergence. As you can see, market moved higher, closed higher, but RSI didn't really confirm that. So that will be interesting here the next few days. Can we actually move higher towards the 5,000 on S&P 500, or was that it? Is the general rally, which we often see, is that being cancelled this year? Maybe. Let's see about it. But look out at 46.95 support area. Or this level here, which is also 38.2 of the last leg up. If we do break below that, close below that, then we could see a larger correction unfolding. More or less same picture on Nasdaq. You can see RSI divergence there. We lower levels on that indicator, but higher closing prices, but also a little bit of weakness. 16,552 is the key support to look out for there. On the European markets, more or less been stepping sideways for the past few weeks. Stepping sideways out of this steep rising channel there. So it can't really make its mind up, should we have a correction or not. There is RSI divergence, and we have this for now. It could look like a shooting star-like pattern, but let's see, the day is not over. So here on EUROStoxx, it's struggling for uptrend. So let's see that the next couple of days. Also the CFD on the EU50 here also shooting higher, but can't really keep momentum up. So quite interesting. DAX. More or less the same picture, really, with gapping a little bit higher here, but couldn't take out the peak just above 17,000. We didn't even touch 17,000 here this morning. So if we get a little bit of a negative candle or closing this gap here, well, then there could be a more selling pressure coming back. But if we take out the previous peak there at 17,000 and free, then we are likely to see higher levels. The Amsterdam index, also a little bit weakness after opening on a good note. There is a little bit of correction indicated by the RSI divergence down here. So let's see, will we get back below the 60 level on the RSI? Well, then we could see a correction unfolding. We can see here that the CFD on the AXL also a little bit to the weaker side. The Belgian market can't really close above 37.28. That will be key here the next day or so. Can it actually close above or not? Back above, then we'll move higher. CAC 40. Also in this sideways move here, so watch out for either a break below 75.26 or take out the previous peak here at 76.54. That will be key levels to look out for next couple of days. The Swiss market has been a little bit to the weaker side, but it's bounced off the 200 moving average despite closing below the minor support here at 11,068. We are still in a bullish trend. There's no divergence, interestingly, on the Swiss market, indicating we could see a move higher towards 11,245, potentially 11,400. But let's see, if it does break below the 200 moving average, we could see it sliding lower towards the 10,920. On the FX side, euro-dollar reached the 138.2 projection of this correction here at 11.30. It did shoot a little bit higher, but then it collapsed, and now we are back below or very close to breaking back below the 110 level. We have the 38.2 retracement at 109.80. I think that will be tested here possibly later today, but we could see a correction a little bit lower towards the 109, but let's see. We are still in a bullish sentiment, but there is some divergence. And how do we see that? Well, you can see the peaks on the RSI has been declining, whereas the price has been going up. So maybe that is in a little bit of exhaustive move. Let's have a look at the weekly on that very quickly. Rejected just below the 200 moving average here, 200 weekly moving average. So expect a bit of a setback. What is also interesting is that we do have the weekly RSI above 60, so actually in a positive sentiment, but a little bit in a limbo. But expect a bit of correction further there. Cable rejected at 128. Tried a couple of times. You can see twice there, twice here, and I think if we see a break below the lower rising trend line here, then we'll see a correction down to possibly around 125. For further upside momentum or to resume uptrend, we need a break above 128.28 at the peak here from a couple of days ago. Dollar yen has been fairly busy over the holidays. Currently it seems to be forming a bottom and reversal-like pattern. We did have this spike down here, and then it couldn't really take that out. So we also had this doji here, where there's almost no trading going on the 1st of January. It was a very thin market, to be honest. There is a divergence on the RSI. You see the RSI actually didn't push lower right here. So we should see a correction up to the 142.67 level, which is the 38.2 retracement, but we could see a bounce up to 144.17, which is the 61.8 retracement. If it does take out the 140.25, well, then we're looking at 138. On the euro yen, it's forming this basically just trading sideways. Seems to be caught between 155 and 156.40 level, where it tried to move above twice but couldn't really break above. We also have the 55 on 100 moving averages coming down there, kind of putting a lid over it, and RSI seems to be sliding back below the 40 level. If it does, well, and if we do also get a move below the support here at 155.50, well, then we could see a renewed test at 153.13 support around this level here. So keep an eye on that. Aussie yen is a little bit stronger, bounced off you can see the lower part of the cloud there at the 96.90 support. No, not 96.90, sorry, 95.90 around here. There's some support, and I think we could see a move higher towards there. So technically, we're still in a bullish trend. If we're looking at the cloud, we also now back above the 155, but a little bit indecisive with 21 moving average coming down there, and there's very strong resistance here. You can see twice it was rejected there at 97.60. So that is key to look out for on the Aussie yen. On the Aussie dollar, very close to the 69 strong resistance area. I think we could reach that, but the uptrend is slowly weakening, as we can also see here on the RSI. However, I don't think that there's no divergence, so we could see another push towards the 69 level. Finally, it's interesting to look at the dollar Swiss forming also this. It's not a perfect bottom and reversal pattern, but these spikes down there couldn't really push it lower than that, and we can also see here that the RSI is actually in a little bit of an oversold. So at least 85.19, we are getting close to that, but we could see a push up to around 86.40, which is the 61.8 retracement of the last leg down here. So that's at least that's what it looks like at the moment. But if it starts taking out the 84 again, well, then we will have another push lower. Finally, on the dollar index, that actually did close below the 100 spot 7.8 support. What we can do is maybe that was the support, that was the spike down there. You can see, boom, right there, 132, 100 spot 32, and actually bounced off there, basically spot on, and a reversal. And if we do get back above the falling trend line there and the 101.62, well, then there is a likely correction up to 102.20-ish level, possibly higher. Gold was not on holiday. Gold moved higher over the Christmas holiday periods. We are looking at higher levels, 2,100. I think we could reach that here the next couple of days. There's no divergence. There's a little bit building up divergence on the RSI there. We can see this was a higher close, but the RSI didn't really. So we are a little bit stretched there in the uptrend. We also have silver that is a little bit not so convincing, I would say, bouncing off the 55 and the 200 moving averages there, but to the weaker side. 23.50 support apparently. I will put a little bit of a horizontal line on there, so around that level, and 24.60 to the other side. That is probably the range we're going to see here the next couple of days, with a positive undertone, I believe. We looked at platinum a few days ago or before Christmas, and now we have actually reached 1,000. I also spiked a little bit higher. Expect a bit of a setback correction down to 975, 967, but I think we will see then a market moving higher on platinum. Copper, in an uptrend, not that convincing, but we see the RSI here is also in this rising channel there. There should be room up to, at least we should reach to test the 400 level. On the energy side, a lot of volatility over the past few weeks in crude oil. But it can't really get its act together and move towards the 79.80 level on WTI here. We're now back above the 72.65, but it's sometimes it's just hard to get a sense of it. But we could be building an uptrend. So this was a new higher low, higher than this low over here. So if we do take out the peaks here from around Christmas at 76.18, well, then we have an uptrend confirmation with some resistance at 79.77 on the Brent crude oil, support here around 77. Also same picture, if it can get back closing above the falling trend line there, and if it can get back to close above 87.72, well, then there could be a little bit further upside. However, we do have the 55 coming down, we have the 100 moving average coming down, so they're kind of putting a lid on it there a little bit, so there will be a little bit of a struggle. Finally, on the US Treasuries, that traded lower in over the Christmas holidays. Well, not holidays for the market, but for some of us, spiking below or dipping below 383 support, but it seems now it is bouncing quite nicely, and we could see a move. I think we will test the 4%, possibly 405 here next couple of days, where we have the 200 moving average. It will give some resistance, but it is not unlikely we could move a little bit higher going into end of January. If we're looking at the Treasury future, actually, that was rejected at the 138 right there, and very close to be testing the lower rising trend line, and that will be key, I believe, for a larger correction that could take us down to. There's some strong support at 111.12. So look out for that one around here. We also have the 200 moving average. If it does take out that, well, then we have a larger correction towards the 109-ish level. All right, that's all for today. A little bit of a long one, but it's also a lot of talk about after the Christmas holidays. I will be back again tomorrow. Have a nice day and happy trading.